Hello everybody, this is General Snivy, and welcome to the Great Emblem Grind and Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. Today is finally the day. We're finally ready to take on all of the freaking emblems, and let me tell you folks, there's a lot to get through. Excuse me. Anyway, last time we finished up the remainder of Adventure Mode. We also went around and collected all of the Adventure Field emblems while we were working on it, just to extend the runtime a little bit more. And I also showed off the Boss Rush mode for Sonic's story, just for fun. But today, we're finally doing it, folks. Hey Blaze Troops, welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. Anyway, like I was saying, today we're finally going to be going after all of the emblems that I can possibly get my hands on. This will more than likely be divided into multiple sessions because, again, we are... Yep, true. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I have a feeling that these emblems are going to take quite a while to get our hands on, especially for characters like Big the Cat, also maybe some for Sonic. Excuse me. And, of course, we have the minigame emblems we still gotta get our hands on yet. And the Chow Racing emblems will be saved for last, of course. So, with that out of the way, let's get to it. Let's start by heading into the action stage. And we're gonna tackle this in the order of which I see fit. So, let's start with Sonic. Reason why we're starting with Sonic is because he has the most stages. So, he's probably going to take the longest. So, when it comes to the actual emblems themselves... Alrighty, well, come back soon. Anyway, when it comes to the emblems themselves, each character has their own unique objectives for each of these emblems. Just by playing through and completing the stage awards you the C emblem. B emblems work differently and are different from character to character. For Sonic, I believe you have to collect at least 50 rings and then make it to the end of the stage with 50 rings in hand, at the very least. You can have 51, you can have 100 or 200, who cares? You gotta have at least 50 in order to make it to the end, or in order to get the emblem. And finally, the A rank emblem requires you to turn yourself into a speedrunner and break the game. Ha! Kidding. No, but seriously, you do have to essentially put on your casual speedrunning shoes and complete the stage within a given time limit. So, with that in mind, let's start with Emerald Coast. I think what I'm going to do here is, instead of going for both B and A rank on a given stage immediately, I'm just going to go after all the B rank emblems first for all the stages for Sonic as well as all other characters as well, just so I don't go completely insane when I get stuck on a given stage. So again, the B rank emblem objective is very simple. Just make it to the end of the stage with at least 50 rings in your pocket, and you're good to go. By the way, you can die in these stages and still manage to get 50 rings, depending on where you are, and it also depends on the stage itself. So if you were to somehow lose your rings or something midway through the stage, you can restart the stage, or restart at a previous checkpoint, or intentionally KMS, and just try to grab more rings before you reach the end. Again, it purely depends on where you are. This trick may not always work, so that is something you do need to keep in mind. But really, it's not that bad, all things considered. Besides, doing the whole ring collecting thing anyway is pretty good for relearning the stage's layout. Especially for the time trial missions later. Just saying. Damn it! That's what I mean. If you happen to screw up like that, damn. It's not a good time. Another thing to keep in mind is that while you're doing these ring time trial things, or these ring trials, you do have to keep in mind that once you hit a ring capsule, it becomes deactivated, and you won't be able to activate it again unless you exit out of the stage and reload it completely. Another thing worth pointing out too is that your lives count from adventure mode do not transfer over to the trial stages. So, yeah, you're limited to about, I believe, 5 lives. You can get more throughout the course of the stage, but again, they will not be added to your actual totals. The only times when your adventure mode lives total actually transfers is if you're playing in mission mode. So, yeah, that's something else worth mentioning. Time to head into Windy Valley. Once again, the objective is the exact same. As with all objectives for all B ranks for Sonic stages, just get 50 rings and reach the end of the stage. This is one thing I will definitely give credit to Sonic Adventure 2 for, where it actually improved on this significantly. Where, sure, you had to collect double the rings at 100, but after you collected the required number of rings, the stage ended right then and there. But, again, we'll cross that road when we get to it eventually. Right now, we kind of need to concentrate on this game and its objectives. Okay. Again, another thing I will mention is that this game is quite generous with its checkpoint system. And it's also pretty nice knowing that you can just simply hit restart from the pause menu and just respawn at a checkpoint that you previously activated. Unlike in future Sonic games or like in Sonic Adventure 2 onward, when you hit restart, you restarted the entire stage. I mean, that too has its own fair share of benefits, but even so. It's still nice to be able to respawn at a checkpoint at any given time at the cost of a life, of course, but even so. So you may be wondering, why is it that I am playing this now on Sunday as opposed to tomorrow, which is Monday when I typically would do something like this? Well, the reason is, as to why, is I did post my reasonings on Twitter, but for those of you who didn't see my tweet, or my series of tweets, the reason why I'm streaming today as opposed to tomorrow is because I'm going to be doing some grocery shopping tomorrow and just running errands in general, so I figure I might as well stream today, because tomorrow I'm going to be a busy, busy man. Just saying. Being an adult, doing adult things, it's definitely something. It can be fun, depending on what you're doing, but hey, I'm just saying. Okay, when it comes to Casino Aapis, the objective here, once again, is to collect the required number of rings, which is 50 rings, and make it to the end of the stage. However, as you know, this stage's gimmick is you have to deposit at least 400 rings before you can even leave. So, the best way, and honestly the fastest way of gathering rings in this stage, is to head into the Sonic pinball game and intentionally lose all your balls. Don't take that the wrong way. Seriously, just do it. You'll thank me later. Well, that was unexpected. Didn't expect Ancient Light to take priority, but whatever. So, like I said, take an L in the pinball machines and gather all the rings within the sewage system. Seriously, do it. It is still possible that you can still lose all your rings in here, so that is something else you kind of need to keep in mind. But really, it's not that bad. Especially considering that all the capsules and other things in here, they actually respawn, unlike all other stages in the entire game where they don't. They respawn every time you enter this place. So, that's something worth mentioning. For sure. As you can see, we got like over 200 rings in just this place alone. So that's more than half of the required number of rings just for completing this stage alone, which is pretty massive. Well, I did not quite mean to do that. Whatever, no big deal. I guess one other thing I could try to do is glitch my way to the capsule, but best not to chance it. Now, like I said, going through the sewage system is definitely the fastest way and most reliable way of getting a whole bunch of rings within a short period of time versus playing the actual pinball games. And trust me, you need to do this for the time trial as well, because for the time trial, the timing of the time trial is pretty strict. What's also pretty nice is that upon completing the whole sewer section, you should be able to get your hands on a nice shield here. Which is pretty damn sweet, if I do say so myself. Whatever. What's more is that the obstacles in here are pretty easy to dodge, so you don't need to worry so much about possibly losing all of your rings most of the time. Also, for whatever reason, upon stepping into the light there before hitting the ladder, you lose more time. Because you have to take a shower from the shower water from above. I don't get it. Why that's the case, but even so, it's annoying. By the way, once the requirement is met, we do have to get an additional 50 rings before we can leave the stage. Otherwise, it counts as a mission failure. So, since that is the case, we can choose to play a little more pinball and actually try to get 100 rings as opposed to just 50, which is the bare minimum. Actually, the bare minimum in order to leave here without going into the sewage system is 100 rings, but even so. I'm just saying. It may not be the most efficient when it comes to time, but even so. Better than nothing. And honestly, when it comes to the two pinball tables that are in this game, or within this stage in particular, this pinball table is definitely the most efficient when it comes to ring collection. Just saying. Of course, nothing beats running through the sewers, but even so, I'm just saying. Wow, speaking of the sewers, looks like we're going to be going back. Great. Not that I have a problem with that, but even so, I was kind of hoping to not go back again, at least until the time trial. T-kick. Sweet. Okay, can we get a few more rings before we leave? That would be great. Damn it! Well, looks like we're going through the sewers one more time. I'm okay with this. It's no big deal. I don't mind going back through this one more time. Besides, I got another shield with me, plus I can add some more rings to my total as well for, like, future black market purchases or something to that extent. But honestly, buying the items in the black market in the Chow Garden really is nothing all that special. It's just purely decorations for your Chow in the first place. There we go. All done. Go away. All done.
Yeah, not bad.
Phew. Okay. That's good.
So, like, let's get him. Select a stage.
Alright, next stage, Icecap. Let's go. Second verse, same as the first. Let's go. How about we explore this stage a little bit more? I didn't quite explore it because I kind of broke it the last time I was here. What's really interesting about this stage is that this is probably one of the less linear stages that there is in the game. There's just so many ways you can just traverse this level and just speed run through it. It's not even funny. By the way, I think if you hang on to these for too long, you immediately fall. Not because of you slipping off, but rather it's because the icicles hanging down. I think they'll give way eventually. Alright. I think we ought to be good here. There is something I kind of wanted to try, and that is glitching my way through here. But looks like that's not happening, so screw it. It's a possibility. Okay. The remaining part of Icecap should be a simple matter of making it to the very end, and literally it is as simple as that. By the way, I don't think those guys can even hurt you, even if they hit you with their bombs or something. At least I don't think they can.
Okay. Yeah.
What the hell kind of jump was that? I honestly don't even, man.
Yes.
Whatever. At least the stage is done.
Yeah, not bad.
On to the next.
So let's get him.
Okay.
Select a stage.
Next up, Twinkle Park. This is definitely one of the more fun stages that we can just break into a million pieces if we so wish. Get off of me, please. Don't worry about gathering rings in this first section, because inevitably you're probably going to end up losing them. Like that. Especially when you get ganged up on by these freaking bumper cars of doom. Sometimes you lose rings, sometimes you don't. It seems kind of random. Perhaps it's a force thing with physics. God only knows how it actually works. It seems kind of random of whether or not you receive damage or not. So again, I would try to avoid as many enemies as you can. Only worry about collecting rings in the next section when you actually reach Twinkle Park. Of course, it doesn't hurt to collect rings here, too. But even so, I'm just saying. You're more than likely going to lose your rings before reaching Twinkle Park versus waiting until you reach it. Just saying. Sweet. That was actually a pretty smooth ride. I'm honestly surprised I didn't die. Not like last time. Okay. I'm surprised that still counted. Alright. Ha! Funny how I just ran on the wall again. I wanted to kind of save that for the time trial, as I did it during the main part of the playthrough, and I kind of wanted to show off the rest of the level. The parts that I didn't skip over. And honestly, there really isn't a whole lot to speak of here. By the way, hitting those switches up there only summons, like, trails of rings. So if you're short on rings and you need them, feel free to hit them if you wish. Oh, thank God. I thought I was gonna get blown up or something. How much would a copy of Banjo-Kazooie would cost?
Yeah, not bad.
Honestly, I'm not too sure. Sonic Chaos was added to the list because of the fact that we just got our hands on our 60th emblem.
Select your character.
But
Let's get him.
to answer your question, I'm not really sure how much an N64 cartridge of Banjo-Kazooie would cost. Especially if you're trying to hunt down version 1.0. I would look around like Amazon or even eBay for that matter. But I'm just saying. Those are pretty good places to look for games like that. Alright, let's head off the Speed Highway. Now, when it comes to this level, this is where things can really start to get hectic and also kind of funky. Like I've shown off before with the walls being kind of, well, busted. Even so, it really isn't that bad, all things considered. Of course, you still have to take your time and be careful of certain obstacles, such as the helicopter blades, because, yeah, those can hurt. You're welcome. Glad I could help. So one thing I will definitely say is avoid confrontation unless absolutely necessary, especially when you're trying to maintain your ring count. Kind of surprised I didn't take damage there. Sweet. So one more thing worth mentioning is that in this area, this is the last area where you can go and collect rings. So be careful on the ring capsules and only activate them if you feel like it's necessary. Otherwise, leave them alone. Ow! Asshole! Whatever. Thank God for that electric shield, am I right? And hello, Dubious. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, not bad.
Glad you can make it.
Select your. Let's get him.
Alright. Next up is Reg Mountain. One thing I will definitely mention when it comes to this level is that you definitely want to try to take the fastest paths possible. Oh, fuck off, game! That was complete bullshit. It just took away my A press. But whatever, no big deal. Like I said, there are still plenty of opportunities to get the required number of rings. Trust me. Tails can also help out with collecting some rings, but don't rely on him to do so. Trust me. Whoa. Game kind of froze for a second there. Apologies about that. Not sure why that occurred. Strangely, it does that sometimes, and I don't understand why. Thanks, Tails. Thanks for hitting that extra life for me. Not that I really need them. Okay. By the way, I believe for this area, you want to make it so you don't activate any other checkpoints in this entire section. Otherwise, you're gonna... Otherwise, there is more than likely not going to be enough rings for you by the time you reach the end. It may seem like there's plenty of rings here, but trust me, it's only because there is, just for this one section. Also, camera freaked out a bit. Not my actual camera, but in-game camera, you know what I mean. Alright. Time to finish this up. I'm done. And that was Reg Mountain. Or at least level B. We still got the A rank to go for, or level A to go for. A rank. What is this, Sonic Adventure 2? No. Not even close.
Select a stage.
Alright. Let's head to the Skydeck. Skydeck is definitely going to be an interesting level, to say the least. Again, there are plenty of rings to pick up throughout the course of the stage. But it's just a matter of holding on to those rings is going to be the real challenge. Especially when the challenge is not necessarily holding on to them, but rather trying to destroy the cannons at the end of each section. I thought about just hopping onto those hooks, but yeah, apparently they weren't working for me today, so I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's not worry about it and just go. Oh, fuck you, game, with your bullshit. Again, it took away my A press for no reason. Well, whatever. No big deal. Like I said, there's still plenty of other opportunities to get more rings. And it's not like I had the required number of rings anyway. Again, with the bullshit. It always seems like it takes me at least 2 attempts in order to destroy the cannon every goddamn time. I don't know why, but it does. Really, game? Fuck you. Fuck you! Not sure why, Oh, come on, move! Wow. That took way too goddamn long. I figured I'd try showing off a different path, like a different way to get across here. But apparently I was having some serious trouble. Also RNG. This is the last section where I can possibly get some rings. I'll do my best not to lose them immediately. Alright. Game? Fuck you with the shitty camera! And fuck you for dropping my goddamn inputs again. That's one thing I will definitely say about this game is that this camera has not aged very well at all. Oh, god damn it. Move the other fucking way! Jesus! What is up with these monkey bar controls? Like, really? Like, sometimes you move in the given direction that you want to go, and other times you just go in the opposite direction, or, worst of all, you just sit there and do absolutely nothing. You can't win by doing absolutely nothing. You're not Luigi. You can't do that crap. Oh my god, hit the switch, please. Wow, that was bad. But at least the deed is done. It's only going to get worse. RNG, always against us indeed. Because, hello, I am a schlep rock. Alright. Lost World, here we come. Now then, this stage is technically the longest stage as far as I know. I think the second longest is Final Egg, but this is definitely the longest. So, of course, there are plenty of opportunities where we can get some additional rings if necessary, which it looks like that's going to be the case because I always inevitably get hit in this room. At least once. Especially when I'm looking at Tails' ass the entire time. Okay. Well, so much for getting hit in that previous room. Whatever, I'll take it. One ring. It may not be much of anything, but it can make a difference. A small difference, but not a very important difference. Most of the time. Just saying. Normally I would grab that lightning shield, but I really do not want it now. If I would grab that... Okay. Like I was trying to say, if I would have grabbed that lightning shield, that would have made future sections a lot more difficult. Again, you don't have to light the way if you don't want to, and honestly, it's ideal that you don't. Besides, you can see just fine without the light. Damn it! Wow, fuck me in the ass. That was a load of bull crap. Maybe I should have just spin dash jumped across instead. Yeah, that's what I should have done, rather than try to take my sweet ass time. All because, once again, capsules do not respawn upon activation. Also, fuck you. God damn it, game. Sometimes it's better to not be... What the fuck, man? Why am I getting sniped every damn time I go that way now? You know what? Fuck you then. I'll go the other way. What I was trying to say before I got sniped again was that sometimes it's better to just YOLO the section altogether and just charge. Sometimes it's better to do things that way rather than take your sweet time. There we go. Better. This is one level where I really wish I could transfer my lives from the adventure field over to the trial stages. But, alas, it is what it is. Also, for this particular mission, it's a better idea to just let the boulder chase you versus trying to trigger it early and then let it roll away. Trust me. Okay, that works. Oh my god, hit the switch, damn it! Wow, how is that so damn difficult? Regardless, the deed is done. One thing I find kind of annoying about these missions is that you can't do multiple missions at the same time. Like, you can't do the time trial and the 50 ring thing on the same run. You have to complete one and then do the other. It's a load of bull. Alright, final egg! Here we come! Okay. Final egg. Oh, son of a bitch. I hate these things so much. It's random of whether or not they hit you. I swear. What was I saying before? Dang it, now I done forgot. Right, those claw things at the very beginning of the stage, it's random of whether or not they hit you. It's like sometimes you can just pass safely through them, no problem, and other times it hits you, even though you clearly did not hit the object itself. I don't get it. It's dumb. Okay. Whoa! For some reason, my perspective just... It was like... I don't even... I'm not sure how to describe it. It was just weird. for some reason I was thinking I was further away than I actually was. Something is definitely wrong with my vision. One thing I really wish Tails could do, like he could do in Sonic 3, is give Sonic a ride just by carrying him a distance. Like, really? Why can't he do that in this game? It's kind of baffling. Bit of a weird design decision, but whatever. Also, Tails is stuck in the scenery. Kind of hilarious. Okay. So far, so good. As far as I can tell. Of course, we're not in the clear yet. We still have a bit of a ways to go before we reach the end of the stage. Really? I did not mean to hit the A button twice there. Okay. This fan section can be pretty tricky to get through, but really, as long as you take your time, it's not that bad. And also, when it comes to these explosive robot rooms, just try to get through them as fast as you can. Alright, time to show off this alternate path that you can take through here. I'm surprised I managed to land on that platform without needing to go back up. Again, it's an alternate path, and it takes you basically to the same sort of destination, albeit in a slightly different way. Although I think that path gives you less of an opportunity to get additional rings.
Hey, let go! Hey, let go!
I honestly don't even... Heh, funny, Tails destroyed the Knuckles doll. Okay. That final section with the lightning shield is incredibly dangerous. So what I would recommend you do is charge up the Lightspeed Dash, and then as soon as you get to the Trail of Rings, release.
Select your character.
That way you don't end up getting screwed over.
Select a stage.
Okay. That's all the B-rank missions for Sonic. Now comes the fun part. The time trials. Cheers indeed. Let's go. Emerald Coast awaits. So for this stage, we just gotta complete it within 2 minutes. And getting stuck there does not help. Another thing that's pretty nice about the time trials is that when you activate a checkpoint, you can restart from the pause menu from that particular checkpoint. So if you're not satisfied with the way a section went, you can respawn at the checkpoint and try to get a better time. Also, rings do not matter for the time trial at all. Just go. That's all I really need to say when it comes to these. Just go, go, go. Gotta go fast. Of course, collecting any sort of rings does increase your life expectancy. So long as you have one, that's all that really matters in the end. Okay, did not mean to hit that. Alright, gotta move. Hit the thing, thank you. Phew! Alright, first attempt. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, not bad.
Thankfully, that wasn't the most difficult thing in the world.
Let's get him.
Honestly, if you're desperate, and really, if you want to get through the stage more quickly, spin dashing constantly really helps a lot. Alright, on to Windy Valley. For this stage, we gotta complete it within 3 minutes. Thankfully, it's nowhere near as bad as Emerald Coast. I will say that much. I wonder if hitting that trampoline a second time, or that third time, was necessary. Well, regardless, let's just keep moving. Excuse me.
Head straight up. You should be able to get out of the tornado. Jump on panel number 1. It will take you to panels 2 and 3. Jump as soon as you land on a panel, or else you'll fall.
I guess a third jump on that particular trampoline there is absolutely necessary in order to make it to the bridge. Okay. Honestly, when you reach this section of the level, or just this part of the level after the first, after leaving the tornado, you're basically home free. I say that as I missed the spring twice. Good job, me. Way to waste so much freaking time. Okay. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to take a gamble and just jump for it. By the way, I haven't mentioned yet, but this particular song that's playing for this part of Windy Valley is actually a reused song from a zone within Sonic 3D Blast. Figure I'd throw that out there. It's an interesting piece of trivia.
So let's get him.
Eventually I am going to be doing Sonic 3D Blast, just obviously not right now. Alright, time for Casinopolis. So for this stage, we just need to destroy the capsule within 5 minutes. Which, that should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like I said, we just need to gather 400 rings minimum, and the sewage system will help tremendously. Perfect. Okay. I don't know how I missed 2 of those capsules, but whatever. Hello there, Spike Ball of Doom. Okay. 230 rings, not bad. Again, it helps quite a lot. More than you will ever know. My favorite style of game, honestly, is the Japanese role-playing game. That's my favorite genre. I'm also a fan of 3D platformers and things of that nature, too. I've always been a fan of platformers ever since I was a young kid. I also like racing games as well. They're also pretty damn good. Hell, my favorite game of all time is a racing game. Oh my god, come on, drop. Thank you. My favorite racing game on Nintendo 64 and my favorite game of all time is Diddy Kong Racing. I'm also a big fan of Wave Race 64, and whenever I hear any tunes from that game, sweet Jesus, the nostalgia just overflows through me. It just feels so damn good. I love it. I love it that freaking much. Okay. That was Casino-Aapis. Come on, stop getting stuck behind the camera. We need to move. Of course, we still have over a minute and a half, but just saying. Also, did Sonic just activate that from a distance using his mind? Who does he think he is? Silver the Hedgehog? Who knows?
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, stage is complete. Excuse me. Good Lord above. That was definitely a thing. Yes, I have. I have played F-Zero X, and I also own the Japanese exclusive F-Zero expansion kit. I even own an actual N64 DD. Okay, I'm gonna restart that. Okay, so for this stage, we just need to complete it within 4 minutes. The camera does not help when it spazzes out when you try to break it. Also, that was complete bullshit. As was that. Alright. Better. That's what I wanted to do that whole freaking time. Not sure why it didn't let me do it. Well, better to have 0 lives and still be able to progress versus not having any lives at all and having to start all over. Okay. I think as long as you make it here within less than a minute, or within a decent time frame, you're home free. Funny enough, this whole section, I believe, takes about 2 minutes to complete, maybe. I don't think it takes that long, honestly. I think it only takes about a minute and a half. So really, it's a simple, straight fire shot. Once you break the stage enough. One other thing I will go ahead and mention here. Whoa, okay, I thought the game was going to crash. Okay, back to what I was trying to say. Shit. Oh yeah, the physics with the snow and the hills, for whatever reason, are incredibly wonky and janky AF. They're so damn bouncy, it reminds me a bit of the physics in Banjo-Kazooie on N64 when it comes to the game and its slopes. Which is weird. It's really, really weird. Like, sometimes you can get stuck on the hill, or you just get thrown around like you're a pinball or something. It really depends on what the game is feeling like that day. Whether it feels like sticking you onto the slope like Spider-Man, or turning you into Swiss cheese. Also, that was a pretty sweet jump. We're probably going to be doing that again later. Foreshadowing!
Yeah, not bad.
Also 69.
So let's get him.
Okay. Glad Sonic is a good ways done. On to Twinkle Park. Time to break it again. So for this one, we just need to beat the stage within 3 minutes. Again, pretty easy to do. Once you get moving, grab a cart, go. Again, abusing the whole checkpoint system and respawning from them again and again, totally would recommend that strategy. Tell a friend. Also, hitting those jump panels right there in that particular tunnel, they do slow you down a bit, so you need to keep that in mind. How much do they slow you down? A fairly decent amount, but it does allow you some additional control. So, I guess take it as you will. Now, when it comes to getting or finishing the stage within the time limit, it really isn't that difficult to do, especially if you know how to break it. But if you're doing it legit without running up the walls, it can be a challenge. I will say that much. One thing I wish you could do is jump off the roller coaster at the right time, and then jump to the very end of the stage, but no. Sadly, you can't do that. Okay. Game, you're being weird again. I don't like it. Oh yeah, I love doing that so much. I just wish I could perform that on a more consistent basis in games like Sonic Adventure 2. Which, funny enough, was built on the same sort of engine, just modified heavily. Hit the thing, damn it! Thank you! God, that took too long. But at least the deed is done. Made it with 24 seconds left to spare. In fact, I think the game expects you to do that in order to achieve the A rank. I don't know. Regardless, let's head off to the next stage, Speed Highway. So for this stage, we need to destroy the capsule within 2.5 minutes. And that does not help. There we go, that's better. Now this stage in particular can be pretty damn difficult to get the completion time down. Just saying. Especially if you fall here, you're going to be losing a... Son of a bitch. That's exactly what I mean. You fall, you might as well restart. The time limit is literally that strict. And by the way, even if you exceed the time limit, you still can complete the stage, but you will not be awarded the emblem at all. And you'll have to start over regardless. Another feature that was added in Sonic Adventure 2, where if you fail to make it to the end within the time limit, the stage automatically restarts. Albeit you lose a life in the process, but even so, just saying. Okay. Grabbing that extra life there may not necessarily be worth it, but it's better to have one extra chance for this next section. Especially considering that we're going to be really on the clock. Okay, that doesn't help. Neither does that. Crap. Okay. Go, 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 go! Alright. We got less than 30 seconds. We need to get this done now. Done. Phew! 8 seconds left to spare. That was probably one of the hardest stages to get the time emblem for. Sweet Jesus. I'm also surprised I managed to get it on my first try as well. Albeit I had to restart a couple times, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, what's next? Reg Mountain. Let's go. Alright, for this stage, we need to finish this within 3 minutes. And again, you need to take the fastest paths in order to get to the end. And again, it took away my A input for no goddamn fucking reason. Okay, at least I got my life back. Okay. Come on, stop taking away my inputs! Come on! That is complete bullshit! Whatever. Honestly, I don't get it. Whatever. Again, at least whenever we restart, we can at least respawn at the checkpoint. God damn it, game. Stop being funky with the homing attack. Seriously, just stop. That is one thing I will go ahead and mention, is that the homing attack for not only this game, but in the sequel as well, it's incredibly funky as crap. Okay, we got more than enough time to make it through here. Yep, see, we're done. Whew. Oh boy, that was fun. Bit scary at the end, but whatever works. Also, funny enough, the first time I ever attempted the speed challenge for this stage, a long-ass time ago back on the Nintendo GameCube,
Select a stage.
I actually managed to complete it with, like, literally less than a freaking millisecond left on the clock. It was that close. Alright, next up is Skydeck. But again, spin dash jumping really makes things infinitely easier. Like, okay, the game crashed. Fantastic. Can I go back to the desktop? Shit, I don't think I can. Great! It's a hard lock! So it basically locked up my entire system. Fantastic. So I literally can't do anything at all. Unless maybe I can close the game like this? No, I can't do that either. And now I'm getting nothing but a white box and dropped frames out the freaking wazoo. Oh dear. Alright, I need to stop the stream now. I'll restart in a minute. One thing's for sure, I'm definitely going to be showcasing that as a fail. That weird crash. Although, I'm not sure if Vegas is going to like it. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's say this, that attempt didn't count. Because that failure was literally beyond my control. There was nothing I could do to prevent it. It just happened. Because Windows 10 is being Windows 10. In other words, shit. I guess I just went so damn fast and was so efficient that happened. Because bullshit. I hate it when the game takes away my inputs for no reason. Alright. Okay. So far, so good. At least we didn't run into another hard lock again. By the way, the differences between a soft lock and a hard lock is soft lock means that you can still proceed through the game, kind of, but you're stuck at a certain point basically for all of time unless you restart the entire game. Oh, nice. The cannon actually blew up in one go rather than 2 attempts. That's pretty nice. So anyway, a hard lock, on the other hand, is much different in comparison to a soft lock. Hard lock means the game literally freezes and you can't do anything at all. The only option is to restart the entire game. Again, just like with a soft lock. However, with a hard lock, you literally have to restart the entire system. By hitting either the reset button or, in the case of my PC, shutting it down and restarting that way. Well, it really had to go all the way to the other side of the freaking map. And now it has to turn. There we go, finally. Okay, what was the time requirement for this stage again? I believe 5 minutes? Ah, didn't quite make it. But, At least I still made it to this, so that's a nice consolation prize. That's what I was trying to do the entire time I've been trying to play the stage. Break it by jumping all the way to the end. Which you can successfully do. Without too much of a problem. Again, this is going to be kind of awkward dividing this into two parts. But, as I mentioned, I am going to be uploading the full streams themselves onto the backup channel. While, of course, the actual edits themselves will be made for the main channel. Alright, for Lost World, we just need to complete the stage in 4.5 minutes. Which, that in itself is pretty easy to do if you know how to break it. Like me. Otherwise, this can be one hell of a challenge. Come on, move, damn it! Also, when it comes to certain sections, it's better to take it slow versus going uber fast. Such as, for example, the snake here. Even standing still on this thing, it constantly pushes you around, and it's very easy to get thrown off by this snake if you're not careful. So again, you kind of have to work with the crappy camera in order to stay on the snake and ride it to your destination. Wow, the game literally took away my inputs again. Somehow I just, like, kicked the ledge and I could not do anything at all. I wanted to try to make it to the snake and just jump to it. But apparently that wasn't happening. Again, when it comes to these time trials, speed is all that matters. Okay, what the fuck? Why is it that the spin dash jump does not work in that particular place? I don't get it. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna say screw it, not worry about it. I'm gonna be more patient. Just gonna be more patient. I have to wait for the snake. I don't know why it's literally taking away my input. Like, as soon as I jump, I immediately act like I'm in the middle of a homing attack. Like, somehow it registers my A input twice. I probably could have jumped on the snake right there, but oops. Too late now. Come on, camera. Stop fidgeting around. Again, this is why I record my streams at the same exact time as I actually stream them. Because if I wouldn't do that, then, of course, something like this would happen and it would make the file completely unrecoverable. Just saying. Wow, that was awkward. Especially considering the game was literally trying to throw me into the drink. Whatever works. God, I'm freaking out! Camera! Wow. That camera angle was the worst. I'm kind of surprised I even managed to recover that camera. Whew. Again, way too close for comfort. Alright, at least we still have plenty of time to finish this stage yet. In fact, we're about to arrive at the final section of the stage, with way more than enough time left to spare. And you know what that means? It's Supersonic Galaxy time! After I get molested by Mr. Robo Chameleon! Oh my god. You goddamn serious? I'm surprised I even made that. That was incredibly awkward, especially with that camera angle. Whew. All done. All done with that one. It's kind of funny how I managed to beat every single stage so far in one attempt, with the exception of Skydeck, where literally the game crashed for no reason. And again, the crash was so severe, it literally broke my system, forcing me to restart. Okay. Now, for final egg, we just need to beat this within 4.5 minutes. Getting through this stage within the given time limit is a bit easier said than done. But really, it's not the worst thing ever unless you fall. If you fall, it's over. And let me tell you, falling is no bueno in this stage. What also doesn't help sometimes is that you may end up getting a bad camera angle in certain parts. So, again, that is something else you kind of need to keep in mind. The camera can be kind of funky, as I've clearly demonstrated throughout the course of this run. One thing I kind of wish I could do to break the stage even more is that after hitting the switch, I could just immediately jump to the very bottom, but no, that activates the kill plane. Also, Tails, what the hell are you doing? That's kind of funny. Okay. Off we go. Alright. Let's finish this up. Hopefully within a decent time. That would be great. I guess one really nice thing you could do is that you can just intentionally run right through the mob of those explosive robots without too much of a problem. So if all things get desperate, one thing you can do is just run through the horde and see what happens. Usually it works out. One pretty cool time save you could do is just drop to the door here, but that is a lot easier said than done to pull off. I'm done. Okay, what? I seriously hate it when the game does that. Clearly I'm on the capsule and the game's like, nope, and throws you right off. Oh boy. Well, there we go, folks. That's all Sonic's emblems.